Hey, 7th grade. I'm going to be reading pages 184 through 189 of your informational text packet. If you guys struggle with this one, that's fine. I thought it was really, poorly organized. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and read through this, and then I'm going to go back through and answer all the questions. If you guys do still have questions about it when I'm done, you can either email me, comment on this video, or you can, what was I going to say? In the Google Hangouts. You can go into the Google Hangouts and text me or text the group, whatever you guys need. The other thing, too, I posted all of the remaining vocab for this packet. So if you guys have any questions about the vocabulary, all of it has been posted to the Google Classroom. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to post another video of me reading 190 and 191 tomorrow, and then we will finish the rest of the packet next week. Just a reminder, the packets aren't due until after spring break, so not that I want you to be working on these over spring break, but if you guys do fall behind for whatever reason, you do have over spring break to work on the packets. So let's get started on 184. Spokane County's water waste plan to be derailed. In June 2009, Spokane County, Washington broke ground on the Spokane County's Regional Water Reclamation Center, or facility. 18 months and $173 million later, in December 2011, the state-of-the-art facility opened. 19 months and several lawsuits after that, in July 2013, the plant's permit was invalidated. This was a bad decision for all involved. History of wastewater management in Spokane Valley. The plant is part of a program begun in 1918 to modernize waste removal in the Spokane Valley. At that time, most homes in the area had their own septic systems. These systems disposed household waste underground. The mostly untreated water then directly re-enters the Spokane Valley aquifer, which is the sole source of drinking water. The county planned to get 80,000 customers connected to sewer systems. That goal was achieved by 2006. According to the county, however, all of that sewage had to be treated somewhere. The older Riverside Park Water Reclamation Center in Spokane was unable to handle the increased load. In addition, the older plant would have to be upgraded to meet new state and federal clean water standards. As a result of these two issues, planning had begun in 1999 for a new treatment facility on the Spokane River. Regional agencies came together to study the best options for the plant. After 10 years of study, the land was bought and construction began. The new treatment facility was equipped with membrane bioreactor (MBR) technology. This technology combines a membrane filter having microscopic holes with biological cleaning agents. First, solids are removed from the sewage. Then, the biological cleaning agents consume other pollutants and bacteria. Finally, the remaining water is filtered and disinfected. The result is clean water that is then discharged into the Spokane River. The purity of the discharge water was of prime importance to the county because of the way the river is used. Downstream, the Spokane River is a popular recreational waterway. Residents and vacationers use it for boating, fishing, and swimming throughout most of the year. In addition, the people of the Spokane tribe, less than 30 miles downriver from the plant, depend on fish as a major part of their diet. The agencies in charge of the project wanted to ensure the river was as clean as possible. According to scientific studies of water discharge from the plant, they were succeeding. Phosphorus and PCBs are major pollutants of the river. PCB is shorthand for polychlorinated biphenyls. The cancer-causing chemical was banned in the U.S. in 1979. However, it has remained in the environment since then. A report in the December 2, 2011 edition of Spokane's Spokesman Review noted that 99.9% of the phosphorus in the sewage was being removed. It also stated the new plant was removing 80% more of the PCBs than the old Riverside Park plant. When the plant began operations, Grant Pfeiffer, Regional Department of Ecology Director, said, "Today the river gets cleaner." Objections to the new plant. Even before the new plant opened, some organizations began objecting to it. The Sierra Club and the Spokane Tribe had testified against the plant at earlier hearings. Sierra Club spokesman John Osborne had another name for the facility, a new source of pollution for the Spokane River. The Sierra Club and the Center for Environmental Law and Policy filed a federal lawsuit to block new discharges into the Spokane River. Their major concern was the lack of regional plan to control PCBs in the river, which would meet federal guidelines for PCBs. Various federal, state, and local agencies had agreed to create such a plan. The Sierra Club and other groups wanted to block the plant from getting an operating permit unless the plan was in place. The groups also wanted the plant to stop discharging water into the river. They argued that no matter how low the level of PCBs in the discharge, they're adding to the PCB load in the river. Osborne said environmental groups wanted the discharge water processed in an above-ground holding pond. The water would eventually be recycled for irrigation or other land-based uses. The legal battle. Over the next year and a half, Spokane County and the environmental groups battled in front of review boards and in court. The skirmishes led to a July 24, 2013 ruling of the Washington State Pollution Control Hearings Board partially invalidating the plant's permit. The board said the methods used by the State Department of Ecology, DOE, in granting the permit were faulty. DOE scientists had determined that it was not possible to establish a numeric limit on PCB discharges. They claimed there were inadequate data on PCB levels and the numerous pollution sources. So, DOE instead required the county to submit annual reports on pollution discharges. These numbers were then used as a baseline to establish a regional toxics task force to tackle the PCB issue. The Pollution Board determined those steps were not sufficient. It ordered DOE to require additional improvements for PCB removal from all wastewater sources along with deadlines. It also ordered the DOE to revise the county's permit and strengthen control of PCBs going into the Spokane River. After the ruling, both sides were upbeat. Osborne told the Spokesman Review that he expected the plant to halt operations because of the ruling. What has been invalidated is a key provision of the permit, he said. It is a substantial finding. He said the county should divert wastewater to the old Riverside Park plant until the permit issues were resolved. The county disagreed. Martha Lou Wheatley Billiter, spokeswoman for the county, said the new facility would continue treating wastewater while complying with DOE's permit. We are not being forced out of the river, she said. What should be done? It is now clear that just about everyone in Spokane Valley wants to protect the river from additional pollution. The disagreement is over the meaning of additional pollution. County officials say the plant is so efficient that even detecting PCBs in the treated water leaving the plant is a challenge. The Sierra Club replies that no matter how low the levels of PCBs in the water are, they're adding to the pollution load of the river. The county has the better argument. The new plant should be able to discharge its clean water into the Spokane River, and here's why. First, the new plant does not just improve removal of PCBs from wastewater. It effectively provides cleanup where there was no cleanup before. That the new plant removes 80% more PCBs than the old Riverside Park plant means that very few PCBs were being removed before. This is a tremendous improvement over conditions before the new plant opened. Second, the city of Spokane and the Spokane Valley are experiencing long-term growth. 80,000 customers have been hooked up to the sewers. Thousands more will come online every few years. Their sewage must be treated, and the state-of-the-art technology of the new wastewater plant is the key to providing the needed increased capacity. It has been a long time since the old Riverside Park plant has been able to handle the load. The new plant needs to remain open for that reason alone. Third, it is ridiculous to shutter a facility that costs $173 million to build because it does not solve all problems. That would be like closing a brand new hospital serving thousands of patients because 2 of the patients got infections during their stay. That's not reality. The hospital would remain open and the new infection control procedures would be instituted. Okay, so that is the end of page 189. So we're going to go back to 184 and start going over questions. So Cite Evidence A. What is the subject of this opinion piece? I encourage you to look at the title for the subject. Underline the sentence that tells you the author's opinion. I found the author's opinion in paragraph 1. Cite evidence B. What is the author's purpose in the first few paragraphs of this text? Circle the words that best show this purpose. So what is the author's purpose? I thought a lot of it was to inform of the wastewater management, or to persuade of how we should continue to run the wastewater management. Circle the words that best show this purpose. I'm going to leave that up to you, because if you guys found a different purpose in the text, then the words that you circle or find are going to be different than mine. Cite evidence C. In paragraph 4, the author explains a process. Put a box around the name of this process. Again, you'll find the answer in paragraph 4. Think of the author's point of view on the subject. Why does the author explain this process? I said that the changes made to, it was changes made to the previously failed plant. You will still need to find what the process is, though. Cite evidence D. In paragraph 5, underline sentences that tell about the agencies responsible for water quality. Why does the author include these details? So again, you will find the agencies in paragraph 5. Why does the author include these details? I put to show benefits of the new system. Because if you're trying to get someone to do something new or make something change, you want it to benefit you or be better than the last thing. Cite evidence E. In paragraph 6, the first sentence is a judgment based on facts. Circle the facts that support the judgment. So again, you need to look at paragraph 6, and then circle facts that support the judgment. I was able to find 2 different facts that support that in paragraph 6. So far, what does the author want the reader to believe? This is at the comprehension check. I want you guys to answer that on your own, because it's kind of what you have gathered from this so far. What I may have gathered and what you may have gathered could be 2 completely different things. Cite evidence A. In argumentative writing, opposing points should be raised so they can be answered. Underline the 2 opposing points that the author includes. So an opposing point is a point that kind of works against the point the author is trying to make. I found one of those points in paragraph 7, and then the other point in paragraph 8. Cite evidence B. No matter the author's point of view, he or she has to present the facts of the issue. Circle a fact on page 187 that runs counter to the author's point of view. I found my fact for that in paragraph 10. Cite evidence C. Where does the author explain how the review board ruled? Put an asterisk next to that paragraph. I found it in paragraph 9. How does the ruling relate to the author's opinion about, oh my goodness. How does the ruling relate to the author's opinion about the plant permit stated at the beginning of the text? So if you go back to the text, it says that this was a bad decision to temporarily close or take away the permit. So I put that this is kind of like step 1. This is kind of the downfall of what is to happen. Cite evidence D. Underline the author's use of a primary source. If you guys don't remember, a primary source is an original document that hasn't been changed. So for example, if I were there signing the Declaration of Independence, that would be a primary source. But if you guys were like to Google a copy of it right now, that would be secondary, because it's not the first-hand account. So then why does the author use this material? Just think about why authors in general use primary sources. What makes a primary source more believable than a secondary source? Cite evidence E. You guys do not have to do this one. I felt that they chose the wrong paragraph for the tone of this section. So you guys do not have to do E, but you do have to do the comprehension check at the bottom of the page. Based on the reactions of John Osborne and Martha Lou Wheatley Billiter, what is clear about the ruling of the board? So I would specifically look at the quote that Osborne said and then the quote that Wheatley-Billiter said, and then compare and contrast their quotes that they said, and that will give you your answer for the comprehension check. Cite evidence A. Find where the author states an opinion about which side is right. Underline the opinion. I found that opinion in paragraph 16. Paragraph 16 is super short, so you should be able to find that quickly. Cite evidence B. Is the author's tone in this section the same as compared to that of earlier sections, or has it changed? Circle 2 words or phrases that support your answer. So I said that the tone has gotten like a little more aggressive in this section, because it's really just straight to the point, like, look, this is how I feel, these are the facts, like, no ifs, ands, or buts, that's just the way it is. Circle 2 words or phrases that support your answer. I'm going to have you guys do that on your own, because if we have different answers for tone, then the words we underlined or circled will be different. Also, to start getting a better idea of attendance and who's watching these videos, Ms. Yingling suggested that we start giving you guys a keyword. You will either have to email us, privately message us in Google Hangouts. Do not post it in the Google Classroom. Don't post it in the comments. But your keyword can be water bottle, because there's a water bottle sitting on my desk. So again, do not share that with anyone else, because there is an incentive that will be later explained to you guys for that. So keep that in mind. Anyway, moving on to the comprehension check questions on page 189. Number 1, which answer choice best states the author's point of view? So if you go back to paragraph 16, it says the county has the better argument. So then I would either go with A or D for this one, because they both say the county is right, but you need to determine what the county is right about. So I would pick A or D. In the section, what should be done? The author uses exaggeration to make a point. Which answer choice is an example of an exaggeration? This question is a little weird, because I think you need to have like a context of where these quotes were pulled from. So it's A, the county has the better argument. That's not necessarily an exaggeration, because this is an opinion piece. B, it effectively provides cleanup where there was no cleanup before. You could put that as your answer, because they did outlaw the PCBs in 1979, and the old plant was still open then. So there had to be some type of cleanup. C, 80,000 customers have been hooked up to sewers. I don't think that's an exaggeration either, because that's a number that you can fact check. And then D, that's not a reality. If something is an exaggeration, it's not a reality. So D could also be the answer. So I would pick B or D. Number 3, in paragraph 18, the author writes, the new plant needs to remain open for that reason alone. What kind of statement is this? A, a fact, B, a detail, C, a judgment, or D, a speculation. My advice to you guys for this question is to look up either in the dictionary or just on Google the definition for fact, detail, judgment, and speculation. That should help you get to the right answer. Number 4, what is the author's main point in paragraph 19? Paragraph 19 is at the top of this page. So it's A, don't shut down the plant, improve it. B, the Sierra Club is a ridiculous group. C, it is very difficult to improve water quality. Or D, government knows best what a community needs. The Sierra Club is never referenced in that paragraph, and neither is the government. So I would focus on A and C and choose between those two. So what is the author's purpose in the what should be done section? What do you think the author's purpose is? Just think about the question. What should be done? Well, what does someone have to offer in order to answer that question? And then use examples of the tone of the writing in this section to support your answer. So again, you're going to incorporate pieces from Cite Evidence B on page 188 to help your answer to number 5 on 189. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, comment on this, check some Google Hangouts, or wait till we go to our next live session, which will be next Wednesday, April 1st from 6 to 7. And I'll be posting another video tomorrow. And then we'll finish the rest of the packet next week. But like I said, if you guys have questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will hear from you guys probably on Wednesday.